remember when you met him?
Vaguely.
I told you he was trouble.
And I told you I could handle a little trouble for a place that pretty.
I seem to remember eloquent lectures on the curvature of his arse.
And things said while drunk don't count.
No? Since when?
Since I'm embarrassing when I'm tipsy.
No, you're not. You just overshare. To me, specifically.
Well, that's what happens when you sign up to be my best friend. It's in the job description then.
You were right. I really should have read that more carefully. The Kelpie's definitely dead, right? They won't take you away from me. Come back.
Greetings! Hello! Welcome! Happy Wednesday, everybody. I hope everybody's doing well. Thank you for being here. Thank you for joining me on this. Is this the first stream of February, I think? Hello, welcome in. Thank you so much for being here. Thank you so much for joining us tonight. It's going to be a chill one. I say this every stream, and then usually it goes off kilter very quickly. But we're going to be... Yeah, we made it through January, yes. Oh, good grief, we did. January was a month. Good grief, I'm glad it's over. I'm looking forward to making this one. I'm looking forward to making this piece. But like when I sort of had the thought, when I had the idea, I kind of thought, right, let's throw something really nerdy in there. And the people in the folks in the Tin Can Audio Discord immediately saw it and thought, that's what we want. We're here for the nerd stuff. So well done there. Very astute of you. It's great to see so many people in chat already. Shuriken William CR, welcome. I'm going to call you Shuriken. I hope that's okay. Welcome in. It's good to have you here. Just a Bonky, Sassy Catastrophe, hello. That is a terrifying emoji. Christune, hello. I actually get to join from the start today. Fantastic. Wonderful to have you here. January felt like 5 years ago. Yeah, a little tiny bit. What a stylish jumper. Thank you. It belonged, so it was my partner's, and she was just like, I don't wear this anymore, and I'm thinking of getting rid of it, which is usually shopping time for Amber. So I got it, and it's really comfy. It's been really cold. I don't know if it's been really cold or if I've just been really cold, but the flat's been rather cold today. So I've been, and also I'm just really busy. So I'm spending all my time sitting at my desk, and when I go away from my desk, I'm cold. So I'm in need of it's still jumper season. I think I'm desperately yearning for springtime where I don't need to wear jumpers all the time. But it works for now. So, what are we doing this month? So this month we're going to be making, I think it's going to be a shorter audio piece, but it is going to be a bit more kind of playful and I think a bit more experimental than the last one. Basically, it's kind of like a little sound design lesson. It's a little sound design principle thing. And I'm going to make it, I'm going to kind of just put my stall out here. This is a thing that I kind of thought about and thought, oh, hey, this is kind of interesting. I wonder if this is a thing. I can't find any writing or anyone talking about this as a similar principle, at least in audio storytelling. So I may not be the first person to come up with this, probably not, but I think it's an interesting thing worth talking about and an interesting thing worth figuring out because I think I think it puts into focus a lot of thoughts that I've had, a lot of thoughts that I have when I'm approaching sound design, and also for me it's kind of nice prep because I'm recording a new series this month, and so I'm kind of thinking a lot more about sound design but kind of how it works, how it functions. Something that I've always been interested in is kind of like, at what point does the imagination take over? At what point do a collection of sounds start to sound like a scene, start to sound like an audio drama or an audio piece? Like where is that threshold? Where is that limit? Nimsy, hello, it's hot chocolate time. That sounds delightful. I'm on some delightful I think it's called detox. Yeah, it's like a detox tea. It's like a lemon and aniseed. I think I probably should have this information for you just in case people ask. I know other streamers do it. Yes, I'm on some delightful herbal teas. Does white chocolate count? I guess so. Yeah, I guess it's chocolate. It's hot. Like that counts. That counts. Okay, so today is mostly going to be a writing stream. I've not done a writing stream in a while. I'm excited. I think I'm going to kind of be playing around with scripting mostly with today. But also we have some more archival stuff to watch. We have some more archival footage to talk about. And then also as well, I can kind of flesh out what it is that I'm actually wanting to talk about and how I'm wanting to talk about it. We are going to have a recording session with a voice actor. Ooh, who could it be? We are going to have a session with a voice actor later this month. and cue the typewriting foley. I do actually have some typewriting foley. So I've been working on a game recently. I've been working on a video game. And one of the things I had to do, I was doing the sound design for it, one of the things I had to do was make some UI sounds. So like clicking on buttons and navigating menus and things. Never done that before. It's fascinating. It's really, 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 really cool. Really kind of nitty gritty, tiny little sound design. But I actually know, you've seen the typewriter. You saw the typewriter when I did ADDQ. So I got to use the typewriter, which is really cool. So we may end up using that. What we will be probably using is reel to reel, like a film projector, sound, because I really love that sound. I used it a lot in the Dungeon Economic Model, and I really like it for introducing the idea of like lessons or like an information that when I'm making stuff, that's how I designate. It's time to pay attention. Get your notebooks out. We're doing some book learning. That's the kind of sound that I like to use. An actor, yes, an actor. Can you believe it? Just pulling in all the actors, pulling in big names, big money. Most screwy characters. I mean, we'll wait and see. Hopefully not, but we shall wait and see. Did you all ever get like chimes that opened up the PSAs at school? I mean, we I grew up in the UK. We had all sorts of weird and wonderful, slightly terrifying PSA and public safety films and things. Ooh, it was quite funny. So in my final year, so basically when I was at my high school, another high school got a replacement for it. Was a new school was built next to it, and then everyone transferred over to the new school, and then we all got to watch the old one get torn down, and it was quite therapeutic actually. But they changed it from like a traditional school bell to like this sort of digital tone thing. And I remember I think it was the first music class we were doing since we moved over to the new school, and we spent like a time trying to figure out what the arpeggio was and coming up with a tune for it, which was rather delightful. You can probably hear Poppy in the background. She might be joining us recently. She's been very demanding over the past couple of days. I think because we've cleaned, because we deep cleaned the flat. Is it David Tennant? No, sadly not. I would argue it's better than David Tennant, but well, I don't want to spoil it for you. Lady Pop Tart. Yeah. I miss Poppy Cam as well. Like, this is the thing. Like I can't control where Poppy goes. She sometimes she goes on the sofa, sometimes she's on the organ stool, sometimes she's not even in the room. It depends on a multitude of factors. Is it a Welsh person? Maybe, but look, we're not here to play 20 questions. We're here to write. We're here to make. We're here to write stuff. We're here to watch stuff. We're here to do things. So we do have a bit of archival to get us started. I tried playing this through Reaper's video function and it didn't work. So we're just going to watch it outside of that. I'm here for chaos and occasional silly ideas. Silly ideas is accurate. We will have rather silly ideas. So the principle that we're going to be working with is a principle from cinema, from visual media, called the Kuleshov Effect, and it's this idea that that two shots put together, the way those two shots interact with each other creates an emotional response in our brains, and our brains lump them together as a story. And that's an effect. So like, you see an establishing shot of a city, and then the next shot you see a person walking down a street. You assume that the person is walking down the street in the city that you just saw. That's a connection that your brain is making, and that's what the Kuleshov effect is. And the thing we're going to be working on this month is me sort of arguing that it also happens in audio as well. That when you hear, a series of sounds together in sequence, your brain ties them together and creates an emotional response to it. So that's the thesis. That's the stall I'm setting out for this month. So my first exposure to this idea. Oh yeah, that totally makes sense. It does, and I think I've never heard anybody talk about it from a sound design perspective, and that's kind of what I'm wanting to demonstrate. And the way I'm going to demonstrate it is, so there's going to be like a little bit of chat at the beginning, just kind of setting out the stall, kind of doing what I'm doing now, but in a slightly more structured way. And then the idea is I'm going to get a certain actor to record one line, particularly just two lines. They're going to say "excuse me," and then I'm going to basically take that line, and by through the magic of sound design, I'm going to make a number of different scenes just using that one line and putting sound design either before or after it. So that's kind of the stall that I'm setting out, and that's the idea. And the idea is to have them be like 2 or 3 in the piece, and then kind of just say, that's kind of the piece over, but I've made more of these. So we're going to try and see how many of these we can make, see how many we can be inspired to figure out. But Brother of Anubis subscribes with Prime. Thank you so much for the Prime subscription. That's incredibly kind of you. Thank you. Very kind. Thank you so much. All money from subs is going towards the making of Camlin Season 2. So all Prime subs help. All regular subs help. Thank you. That's incredibly kind. Thank you, Brother of Anubis. Glad you're sticking around. Okay, so this isn't working. The video player isn't working, so I'm going to run it through good old Windows Media Player. So it's quite quiet, so I'm going to turn it up so you can hear it a bit better. So this is an interview with Alfred Hitchcock. It's an interview that he did with, I think, CBS in the 60s. And this is kind of this is the demonstration that my high school teacher showed me. Is this similar to the reason animation works, like literal sequential drawings that your brain just fills in the gaps? Not quite. That's a slightly different thing. This is more about how shots interact with each other, how the sounds interact with each other to create something. So it's less about your brain filling in the gaps, and it's more about your brain drawing a link between two different images. And this is kind of a good demonstration of it. So we're gonna watch it, and then I'm gonna be using this in the actual piece as well. So
is what one might call pure cinematics.
Can I turn this up
the
even more?
Assembly of film, and how it can be changed to create a different idea. Now we have a close-up. Let me show what he sees. Let's assume he saw a woman holding a baby in her arms. Now we cut back to his reaction to what he sees, and he smiles. Now what is he as a character? He's a kindly man. He's sympathetic. Now, let's take the middle piece of film away, the woman with the child, but leave his 2 pieces of film as they were. Now we'll put in a piece of film of a girl in a bikini. He looks, girl in a bikini, he smiles. What is he now? The dirty old man. He's no longer the benign gentleman who loves babies. That's the difference. That's what film can do for you.
Or you for it, as it were.
So that's it. That's the Kuleshov effect in a nutshell. A slightly strange example, but one that does demonstrate how it works. It's just by switching out the middle bit of film, your emotional reaction changes, and it's because of how those shots interact with each other. That's the Kuleshov effect. So I've brought this in, and I'm going to use this as a little introduction to the effect, and kind of also talk about how this was my introduction to the principle of it. So that's going to be our kind of start. My internet is being atrocious today. Oh, I'm so sorry. I hope you can still see and hear us. Okay. That's a big baby. It was quite a big baby, wasn't it? I wouldn't class that as a baby. I would class that as a child. But you do you, Alfred, you know? The Discord. Brother Anubis, you're asking about the Discord. I don't have a command set up for that yet. I probably should. So, if you have your Discord and your Discord and your Twitch connected to each other, you'll be able to join the Tin Can Audio Discord. There's like a settings. I think you go to connections, and then it should automatically be there if you are a subscriber. You can also sign up via Ko-fi, which is down in the that corner there. There you go. If you sign up to a Ko-fi membership, one of the things you get is you get access to the Discord. And then you can vote for what piece we make next. And I haven't put out this month's 3 ideas yet, mainly because I'm struggling to pick 3 from the list I have. It's a combination of, well, what do I want to make next month? But then also like figuring out what's going to be interesting for people. Because I think one of the things I realized last month while making the car documentary was that I was spending all day editing interview tape, and at the end of the day I'd finish editing audio tape for somebody else, and then I'd come on stream and edit more interview tape. So I'm becoming a bit more aware of my energy. I love being able to vote. It's a nice idea. I really like it. Like when I started streaming, one of the things I did was that the community, the viewers got to vote on what I streamed next, which did work for a while, but also it was kind of exhausting coming up with 3 ideas every week. So this is a nice way of kind of having that. A community suggestion box. I mean, if you have an idea, you can absolutely just stick it in the tiny future episodes chat and just kind of say what your idea is, and we can, unless you prefer to just submit anonymously, and then we can then I'll need to set something separately up. Okay, so what do we want?
What one might call pure cinematics.
Let's see what we can. Let's quickly cut stuff out, because I think it's kind of fun.
The assembly of film and how it can be changed to create a different idea. Now we have a close-up. Let me show what he sees. Let's assume he saw a woman holding a baby in her arms. Now we cut back to his reaction to what he sees. And he smiles. Now what is he as a character? He's a kindly man. He's sympathetic. Now, let's take the middle piece
Pure
of film away,
cinemans.
the woman with the child, but leave his 2 pieces of film as they were. Now we'll put in a piece of film of a girl in a bikini. He looks, girl in a bikini, he smiles. What is he now? The dirty old man. He's no longer the benign gentleman who loves babies. That's the difference. That's what film can do for you.
Just
The dirty old man.
it's kind of a fun little clip on its own. Okay, cool. That's our first little bit of archival. So here's what I've got in my head. Right? I've kind of had this going around in my head. I'm just going to use a nice, readable, normal font for everybody. I might make that a little bigger. Nice big 16. So I like the idea of it starting with like a film projector coming on. So I want to kind of do a thing where, like, when I'm talking about the Kuleshov Effect as a affected film, I want to kind of make it sound like it's being projected onto a screen, like it's kind of, like you're watching it on a cinema screen, that kind of sound. And then we're going to turn off the projector, and then I'm going to press play on a tape player, and then I'm going to start talking about it as a sound principle. And that's going to be our kind of little... So it means that rather than just having like straight chatter, rather than just having like straight chatter, it's got a bit more. Is this Word 2003? No, it's OpenOffice. I didn't realize that they I didn't realize that OpenOffice has been superseded by a different open source word processing program that I'm yet to download. So we're using OpenOffice today. So I do have Final Cut. I've just not got around to figuring out how to use it yet. The chitter chatter and like the beep boop countdown. Maybe the beep boop countdown. I quite like the idea of just having a projector screen on. As much as I love having loads of sound design and no speech for forever in an audio piece, we'll try. I think let's try. Oh, speaking of, so I might be getting a reel-to-reel tape machine, which is just very silly. It's like a working one with tape. Like one of the ones where you put the two reels on and then you kind of wind the two. Basically Sarah's parents were given one by a family member, and they have no need for it anymore. And Sarah's parents are just kind of holding on to it. Yeah, and then Sarah's mum was just like, "Do you want this?" I'm like, "Hell yeah, I want that!" Like, I want to run everything through it. Magnetic tape, yes, please. I've nowhere to put it, but I'll find a place. We'll figure it out together. I have one at home as decoration, but I don't think it works. Oh no, I'm sorry to hear that. I think I have a friend who made a home studio and got one that didn't work. Apparently they're quite easy to fix, quite relatively straightforward. I have a script for a 10-minute play that has a reel-to-reel machine as a prop. I think we long, as a species, we long for, tactile feedback. We want keyboards that make noises. We want buttons and dials and things. It's why it's why all of the machines and everything I make are all dials and things. And I think it's a similar thing with tape machines as well. Like that kind of thunk as you press play on a tape machine. Like that's not, like, you don't get that. Like people need that. People crave that. Any suggestions for a mobile cassette player? Honestly, I think, like, in my experience, as long as you get something that kind of, because I bought a years ago. I found a double cassette player in an old electronics shop. It cost me like £30, and that's what I used. So when you're hearing the radio being interacted with in Camlin, that's the actors playing around. Actually, let me. Is it worth me getting the picture up? Yeah, let's get the picture up. Hang on, because I think Ross took a picture. Maybe Ella took a picture. I'm not sure. Let's have a look. Come on. Do you have that? Oh no! This is a very long walk to a cafe that's going to be closed. Oh, was it me? Did I take a picture of it? Yes, I did. Yeah. So whenever you had a character interacting with the radio in Camlin, this is what the recording looked like. This was, we had the microphone here, and then we had the walkie-talkie up here for kind of talking back and forth to make it seem a bit like a CB radio. And then I basically said to all the actors, like, flick the dials, play with the switches, like interact with it. Just don't press any of the tape deck buttons, because they obviously sound like tape deck buttons. But anyway, that's what I've been using to kind of play tapes through and record stuff with for ages. But I think if you get something that has like a recognizable brand name, you will probably be fine. Like everything that I've got has been like secondhand. I bought a new a new retro tape player recently, and and yeah, like it wasn't very good. You want something that because I feel like a lot of companies are latching onto it and making really cheap tape players. Don't buy into them. Like get something that has a recognizable brand name like Sony or Casio or something like that. Get those because they will be better and they will last longer. Specifically, yeah. Amber's brain, like the real tape machine, goes burr when you play interesting retro content through it. It's just yelling the word trans, just pointing. I hope that's helpful. My tape player is currently in an electronic shop getting fixed, and they can't figure out what's wrong with it. So it's taking ages, and I miss it. Like I got. We will get started soon. This is why I don't do co-working streams, because I get distracted. Look what they sent me. Look what the delightful people at MacGuffin and Co sent me. It's the Pitcrawler soundtrack on tape. Oh, look at that! Look at that! Oh, that's delightful. Now this is podcasting. Yeah! Yeah. By the way, still slightly scary when that happens because I feel like I've accidentally played something. Oh. Sorry, my favorite thing is looking around and saying a word that's written somewhere, just waiting for the other person to get it. Did you get the Myth tape? I've not bought it. No, I want to. I want to buy. Like I'm building up a small collection of cassette tapes because when I did a live show with The Wind a couple of years ago, so what Phil for The Wind was doing, which I really loved, was they were giving out they were selling these little cassettes. So each cassette has two episodes of The Wind on it, so one on each side, like a random episode of the show. And so on the cover, so this is an actual leaf taken from where Phil is from. So each one of these is unique, which is delightful. I love this. It was great. That was really lovely. And they paid me, which was great. And they paid me for performing, which I wasn't expecting for my first gig. And then I've got a couple of other ones, but I don't know where they are. Physical media, exactly. I might have some physical media for you very soon. We just are waiting on people to get back to us. And figuring out how much it's going to cost us. But we will have some sexy physical media for you soon, maybe. We should have done it a month ago, but I was really busy and stressed. And I was too busy. Okay, so we're on board for physical media. Okay, that's noted. I have sadly, I do have to admit this. I have sadly run out of Camlin posters. I thought we'd have more left over at the end that we could sell to people, but alas no. For now, because by the time we sent away all of the ones for the giveaway, and then the cast and crew all got a copy. That kind of swallowed all of them up, which is a shame. But we will have some physical media soon. Tell you what, let's you know what, we've talked about Pitcrawler. Let's do you want to listen to Pitcrawler while we work? There were posters. Yes, we ran a Camlin giveaway on the live stream. I'm typing my own name into Spotify. Why don't you just play it off your computer? I could do that, but then I'd have to go find it. Right, do we want to listen to anything? Just Pitcrawler? Do you want to listen to Pitcrawler? Let's stick Pitcrawler on. Let's pop that on there. Yeah, it should be fun. Might play around with the volume a little bit. Yeah, I love Pitcrawler as well. I think it's probably my favorite soundtrack, or my favorite music project specifically. I had a lot of fun making it. That was great fun. Okay. I know Bandcamp is a great way to support and an easy way to get it digitally, but the Gremlin Goblin in me wants to add to the horde and become a dragon eventually. Like, yeah. A little bit. I missed that stream. I really wanted to hear the Old Gods people. I do still have the stream file, and I do need to chop it up and upload it. It's just it's a time thing. The end of last year and the start of this year just got swallowed up by work because I started a new job halfway through December, which I wasn't expecting. So I will get around to doing it at some point, but I have it basically. It has been archived. Yeah. Okay, so film projector. Actually, no, I don't need to. Yeah. I have like a crush on the storytelling from Old God's team. Like I've only listened to a few episodes, but it's like it's really cool. I really like it, and I'm glad it's done so well. Flicking on. That's my people, that's where I live. I love that. I really love that. Like, I really love stories that have a really strong sense of place. And Old Gods is absolutely that, 100% that. Film countdown? Yeah, okay. On film. That's accurate to the haunts and hints of Hillfolk, and it's great. That's really good to hear. I love that. Look. I'm sorry, this is so 2007. It's making me nostalgic. In a good way, I hope. In a good way. This is the thing. I downloaded OpenOffice years ago, and like I have been updating it, but I've just not kept up with it. You know, I've not kept up with just not kept up with like new programs. Like I've not had Microsoft Word since like I lived with my parents. Like, there's a phenomenon when I was 6 and everything was great. If you think about it, Scotland is connected to Old Gods too. I do love that. Like there's a similar thing with Wales, and the coal seam in Wales is connected to the States. I love that. I love that stuff. Oh, a jelly bean break. Thank you. Thank you. The emotional. The emotional effect. No, that's not wrong. The dogs from Camelon also happen in Old Gods. I love that. The Hebrides and I think parts of Wales is in the same range as the Appalachian range. Amazing! Yeah, I love that stuff. I love like this idea that like everything was squished together at one point and then just moved apart. There's still a connection there. I love that. Also, one of the songs I'm trying to learn to work up to is In the Pines. That's actually another thing I need to do. I need to record at some point. Is that I know a few people have asked, and I do want to do it. Again, it's just a time thing. I do want to record a lesson on how to play the Camelon theme tune, because it's not a difficult one to play. It is basically just like an F shape, just moved around, and then once you've kind of got that down and the picking, it's really easy. But I just need to. There's a lot of stuff that I'm just like, I just need to make the damn thing. Image Cat Possum, hello, welcome. Is this the Kuleshov effect? It is. Well, we're talking about the Kuleshov effect, and then I'm talking about how it's going to be, how it relates to sound specifically, and how it, I think it also applies to sound as well. How to film. You see. Okay, but what is it? So basically, the way the Kuleshov effect works is that it's about the way the Kuleshov effect. Yeah, I mean you're not far off. It's an effect. It's a principle in film where, it's about the way your brain interprets different images placed next to each other. So the example that I kind of put here is, you see an establishing shot of a city, and then you see a character walking along a street. You automatically, your brain, connects the two, and you think that that person is walking in the city that you just saw. That kind of thing, like a before and after picture. Sort of. It's about like how editing can have an emotional effect on the viewer, and how the viewer interprets different events and stories. You can get really in depth with it, and I'm very much giving a very top level skimming of this before getting into the thing that I want to talk about. Because the editing affects the story. Yeah, basically, it's this idea that like the way things are cut together matters, and you can change the emotional resonance of a story, or you can sometimes change what's happening entirely by how it's edited. Like there's a saying that like a film is made in the edit, and I agree, and that's not just because I work in post production. Like having an exterior shot before an interior scene, so we know where they are. Yeah, but a thing I'm going to talk about that I think is there's an interesting discussion to be had of like how much of this is the Kuleshov effect, and how much of it is the fact that we are now 2 to 3 generations into people growing up with cinema, and having that cinematic language, and being able to that sort of film literacy, like 2 to 3 generations of film literacy, like how much of it is an effect and how much of it is language, which is also not what we're going to talk about. Like they had an episode of Wolf 359 where one character said that Star Wars was totally different because of editing. Yeah, there's loads of films that like that. Apocalypse Now, there is another one. A really interesting one is Eternal Sunshine of the Spotless Mind, which is my favorite film. That film was so so much bigger, and they had so many, like there was like 2 or 3 plot lines that were just abandoned because they didn't work in the end. Like they filmed them and shot them, and the scenes are still there on the internet, but the story very much was shaped in the edit. And I love it when that happens. I love when you get like a certain bunch of stuff. Like it's why I really enjoy post-production, especially editing, because you're just like, this is what we have. We've got to make something out of this. Whereas working with someone like Ella, who's a director, is like, we've got pickups. Let's record pickups. Whereas I'm like, now let's do something interesting with what we have. My introduction to I was in high school when an over-enthusiastic English teacher decided rather than having us discuss Macbeth again, He wheeled a television. And I know you can mess with the view. You can show NYC looking cool and then say, no, I was in Stinkhole, South Dakota, worst small town in the USA. Exactly, like it happens a lot in like airplane films, like that very sort of specific kind of parody film, like Hot Shots, or like any of the National Lampoon films where they use editing. They use your understanding of film against you to make jokes, which is really fun. Excuse me. Hitchcock explaining this idea. And then we'll play the Alfred Hitchcock clip. A very clear example. I don't have a name for it yet, but I understood the idea. Though I could have done without Hitchcock's particular what's the word? Particular Hitchcockiness. And then I think we can play the dirty old man clip because I think that's quite funny. The dirty old man. You can use it for a noir twist because the guy in Stinkhorn is evil, but that's only revealed through editing, not his narration. I love that. The Hitchcockiness. Amber 2025. Hey, look. The fact is, you understand what I mean, right? We all watched the clip. There's an interesting discussion to be had. This is still on film. Intersects with multiple generations growing up with cinematic aphasia strike us all in horrible ways, even Amber. I think Hitchcockiness exactly just communicates what I'm trying to communicate. Literacy, that's the word I was looking for. Growing up with multiple generations growing up with cinematic literacy. Pretentious douchiness for Hitchcockiness. I mean, I think it's more that just Hitchcock is just a bit of a dirty old man. Like, that's kind of even for the 60s. But that's not what we're here to talk about. I saw Vertigo. It was messed up. It was messed up. Brilliant film, but yeah, just a very. I think it's based off a. I think this thing Vertigo is specifically based off something. I need Tobias using Hitchcockiness in Camlin. I will write a memo to Ella. like a sticky note on the wall. That is the challenge: is to fit the word Hitchcockiness into a script. Any script. Okay, so film projector switch off. That sounds like a prompt. What, trying to find the word Hitchcockiness in? I'll see if I can wrangle it into the next edition of ADDQ, because that sounds fun. Speaking of, I still don't know where my so I forgot I did this. I forgot I made the guitars like this on this bit. I still haven't found my tarot deck. I don't know where that's gone. Okay. Something I've been thinking about and haven't been able. The tower deck. No, we did have the thought at some point, but turns out there's a lot of not rules, but let's say conventions for making a tarot deck specifically. But no, I had a very specific like square one that was also like it was genderless tarot, which I thought was really interesting. And I do have it somewhere. Clearly I've just moved it and I've forgotten where I've put it. So I need to. But I'm gonna be taking my desk apart and putting it back together again this week anyway. So yeah, I'll find it. This is a thing I've discovered, or it's just a way that I think about sound design. I will ask about the genderless tarot in the Discord server. I'm distracting you enough as is. Oh no, you absolutely like ask away. Like, I'll be better placed to ask once to talk about it when I actually find the damn thing. Yeah, I'll put it somewhere. I think we can maybe make this opening bit tonight. Actually, I think it could be quite fun, depending on how much we get through. Oh, man, I love this album. I had so much fun making it. I'm annoyed I made it in like chronological order. I think I should have maybe taken a bit more time to. Can the chat interrupt the stream? How do you mean? You mean like for the piece, or do you mean like right now? Just the way that I think about sound design. Okay, and then. And then we're going to do a nice little sort of fade into regular tape. And then we'll put this on cassette. I've always been interested. Actually, no, that's something of a. I was trying to figure out the point at which a collection of sounds and voices becomes a scene in audio. I said that in a jokey tone about what Brother Raymond's just said. Can the chat interrupt the stream? Like, honestly, streams like this, I very much appreciate it because it's very much like I don't know if I have 2 hours worth of like chatting on my own and writing today, so I I appreciate distractions. So this track, the opening is just me remaking the opening of Shine On You Crazy Diamond. Like, I think at one point it even like properly just quotes it, which is delightful. I think this is one of the few that actually has like narrative sound design in it. That's pompous. I don't want to say that. I was playing Tenkan Audio through Spotify, but I forgot I wasn't playing Anamnesis through Bandcamp. So it switched from Anamnesis to the Tower, and I was like, did Amber reuse music? Not yet. I feel like I'm getting there. There is a track in Camlin that has like a hidden Tower quote in it, because I realized that the keys were the same. Did it once, didn't tell Ella, never did it again. Reduce, reuse, recycle. Exactly. Any good idea is worth doing twice. Good music is good music. Exactly. Like, I think something I've realized, and I think it's something I've started speaking to editors specifically, like you know, because I do that, because I edit on stream and because I do talks and workshops and things, like, people are like, so, you know, what's your editing setup? How do you edit? And I'm very much just like, you know, well, this is how I do it. But, like, you know, people say, oh, you know, what's the best DAW? And I'm like, the one that works for you. Like, at the end of the day, it doesn't really matter how it's made, as long as it sounds good, you know? Like, my, you know, my project files look nice because they have to be, because I show them to people. The ones I make for work, I don't show to people. You know, if I'm not showing them to people, I don't color code most of the time, until like I'm at the stage where I'm like, okay, this is done. You know, it's just, you know, as long as it sounds good, it doesn't really matter how it's made. Keeping secrets again. No, I'm just saying that, like, the slightly dull stuff I make for my day job, that's nowhere near, the project files are nowhere near as neat as the ones that I show on stream. This is History's kind of a middle ground, because I need to send them the Reaper file at the end of the series. So they potentially might look at them. it's just still only got one L. All right, okay. Then we'll explain the experiment. Okay. Let's have a listen to another couple of tracks, and then we can get to work. We can get recording and editing stuff. Start making a scratch track. This, by the way, was a terrible guitar solo just sped up. Because I'm like, this is a bad guitar solo, but if I speed it up, it actually sounds okay. This is back to normal. I'm not a very good guitar player. Like, I don't know why I keep doing it to myself. Tape VO. I think this is the bit where I just copy Pink Floyd. That's just from Shadow on You Crazy Diamond. And now this next track is my favorite off the soundtrack. We'll listen to that and then we'll get started. This is me trying to do Suspiria. Suspiria, rather. Also, I'm very happy with I think this album was like how I learned how the grandmother works. Like just making lots of weird sounds, like the kind of sounds. Oh, it was great. Is this immersive or... Hi, Lantern AW. Is this immersive or straight stereo? It's just stereo. Just straight stereo. But the sort of electricity noises is what I call them. Like they're just panning left and right. Has a lovely immersive quality all the same. Thank you. I'm really proud of this album. Like, I'm really happy with it. What's this one called? This is Mystery of the Awakening, Mystery of the Awakening God. So I had this idea of like, I think the initial idea I had was like, this is like a ceremony. This is like the ceremony bit. And then the sort of middle bit happens, which I think is coming up. And then this is the sort of bit in between, before the actual awakening happens. I love the vibes. I had a lot of fun. Mountain AW, thank you very much for the follow. Thank you for sticking around. We do our mixing in 7.1, even though our audience is usually listening in earbuds. That's kind of been my thinking when it comes to making stuff. I mean, like, Reaper does have the ability to do 7.1, but I've never mixed in it before. I think a slightly curmudgeonly audio editor would said, "You just need stereo. You've got 2 ears. You just need stereo," which is kind of fun. But yeah, no, I 7.1 is interesting to me. But right now I'm happy just making stuff in stereo. This is when it gets big. The chonky bass line. 7.1, so yeah, so surround sound. Like you do in a cinema. What's the difference between 5.1 and stereo? So stereo, it's 2 speakers, left and right. 5.1, it's you've got 2 at the front, 2 at the side, 2 at the back. So that's 6. I can't remember the specifics, but like it's multiple speakers around you, which is where the phrase surround sound was invented for Apocalypse Now, as far as I can tell. I weep for anyone who listens to our shows in the car. It's a really lovely synth line here that I really liked. And an octave sequencer. I love that. Getting that to work was real good. 2 front, 2 side, 1 back. Thank you. We have gunfire. all the way up. This is an awesome track. Thank you. Yeah, I love this album. Like, it's the most fun I've had making a soundtrack. Basically, Johnny and Sasha were like, we want like prog rock, like dungeon synth stuff. And I'm like, I love all of those words. Thank you. It's the easiest yes I've ever done. And I'm so glad it came out sounding good as well. Right? Like, I had the same feeling with Doctor Who Redacted, when it was very much just like, oh, this is an amazing gig. I'm so glad it came out well. Because if it didn't come out well, that's it. Like, life is over. Oh, delightful. Right. Okay. Let's do some recording. Let's get into it. So we're gonna get this first little bit done. Because next week we'll be recording with an actor in potentially in the studio, but definitely will either be in the studio or definitely online. Excuse me. And then we can start doing the actual experiment, putting the different pieces together. Excuse me. But yeah, so let's get a scratch track on the go, and so we can start throwing things in. So I believe I have a very fun projector sound. No, it's this one, I think. This one. Oh, what a delightful sound. Oh. I love it. Use it so much in Dungeon Economic Model. Oh. can't wait to hear the mystery actor. We made a short a while back where there was a music box playing, and as the song went on, the listener was sucked into the music box. I love that. I love stuff like that. Like, just something that's just weird sounds. I think in 5.1 that would have sounded fantastic as well. I love that. Dungeon Economic Model Season 2 when? I mean, like, I love the idea of making more, but it's, you know, it was made by 4 people, 3 of which have normal day jobs. And the other one is me. So, like, I would love to make more, but, you know, it may happen, it may not. Like, the door is open, but until it does, I'm kind of just happy. I'm very happy with what we've made. And like the series as it exists. Ooh! A fun idea for recording. Let's try 4 effect. We'll have to ask Poppy to clear up your calendar. Most of my calendar is Poppy. Right. So let's. Where's my mouse gone? Oh, there it is. The mess of wires has returned. I had to put headphones on for this stream. Lol. I'm glad that people do use headphones to listen. That's exciting. Okay. Let me see if you can hear this properly. No, you won't be able to hear it properly. Okay. Yes. Okay. Hello. I thought we could maybe use this microphone for the film audio. I thought that would be quite fun. What do you think? Because, you know, underneath this sound specifically, I think that could be quite fun. Yeah. They're my mixing headphones, so they're my mixing headphones, so please don't blow my head off. I will try my best. Alright, let's get some recording done. I don't know what this sounds like, by the way, because I'm still obviously hearing my voice. So let's get it recorded. And let's see what comes out of it. Okay. In the world of film and visual media, there is a phenomenon known as the Kuleshov Effect, which explores the effect that arises from how 2 pieces of film interact with each other. You see an establishing shot of a city that a person walking down the street automatically makes a connection to the person in the city. My introduction to this idea was in high school, when an over-enthusiastic English teacher decided to teach us about film instead of having us discuss prep again. He wheeled a television into the classroom and showed us an interview with Alfred Hitchcock, explaining this idea. Talking. I didn't have a name for it yet, but I understood the idea, though I maybe could have done without Hitchcock's particular Hitchcockiness. There's an interesting discussion to be had about where this idea intersects with multiple generations growing up with cinematic literacy, but that's not what we're here to talk about. We're here to talk about sound design. Okay. Hitchcockiness. No joke, it sounds like a mono record from the 30s or an unrestored early talkie. Hard plosives on the P, though. Yeah, 100%. I mean, that's something we can fix, though, so it's a great thing. In the world... Oh, no, I recorded it on the wrong microphone! Damn it! I'm going to have to do that again, then. Take 2, we're going again. Testing. Alright, let's go again. We're going to mute this time, because it's... So with the plosives, we can fix that rather easily. So it's fine. It was a warm-up. It was a warm-up take. That's fine. Okay. Where is the thing? There we go. In the world of film and visual media, there is a phenomenon known as the Kuleshov Effect, which explores the effect that arises from how 2 pieces of film interact with each other when they are edited together. You see an establishing shot of a city, then a person walking down a street. You automatically make the connection that this person is in this city. It sounds different now? I mean, that might be because it's... Because I forgot to turn my other microphone off, so you're getting both there, but I think we're back. We're back now. My introduction to this idea was in high school, when an overenthusiastic... there we go. My introduction to this idea was in high school, when an overenthusiastic English teacher decided to teach us about film, instead of, having us discuss Macbeth again. He wheeled the television into the classroom and showed us an interview with Alfred Hitchcock, explaining this idea. I didn't have a name for it yet, but I understood the idea, though I maybe could have done without Hitchcock's particular Hitchcockiness. There's an interesting discussion to be had about where this idea intersects with multiple generations growing up with cinematic literacy. But that's not what we're here to talk about. We're here to talk about sound design. Okay, I think we got it, folks. Let me turn this back on. So yeah, I love this. I love it. Yeah.
Now this is podcasting.
Yeah, it is. I got Lawrence Owen of Longcat Media. Let me mute this microphone again so you're not getting it doubled up. Lawrence Owen of Longcat Media makes these. Like I bought it off Lawrence Owen. I bought it off Lawrence. Just finds them in charity shops, turns them into microphones. I wish I had useful, skills like that. I don't. I just do this. I make noises. Okay. Okay. Where is the thing? There we go. In the world of film and visual media, there is a phenomenon known... So if we... First of all, let's get my favourite contribution to the stream, the podcasting redeem. I'm glad I'm glad people like the sound alerts. Like, I was very unsure. I was like, either people are going to really love these, or I'm very much going to regret putting them in. Oh, a save check. Thank you very much, Sassy. If you've been co-working to this stream, first of all, I'm real sorry. But second of all, now's a good time to save your work, or make sure you've saved your work so you don't lose any of the fantastic work you've been making over the past hour and a half. It's me at co-work. Yeah, I'm glad people do. I'm glad people find that useful. So if I add a plosive on here, that should get rid of the... From how two pieces of film interact with each other when they are edited together. You see an establishing shot of a city, then a person walking down a street. You automatically make the connection that this person is in. Okay, we're going to turn that up slightly. In the world of film and visual media, there is a phenomenon known as Kuleshov Effect. Actually, we need to compress this as well. That's the other one. Voiceover. In the world of film and visual media, there is a phenomenon known as Kuleshov Effect, which explores the effect that arises from how two pieces of film interact with each other. Sketch cassette. In the world of film and visual media, there is a phenomenon known as Kuleshov Effect, which explores the effect that arises from how two pieces of film interact with each other when they are edited together. You see an establishing shot of a city, then a person walking down a street. You automatically make the connection that this person is in this city. It sounds different now. No, so you're getting both there, but I think the point cost and cooldown help them stay fresh. We can't flood the stream with random noises. Yes, thank you. Thank you for your restraint. I save about every 10 minutes after a major multiple backup failure. Yeah, so I've just got into the habit now that my fingers are always resting on Control and S, so I'm constantly saving. But 2,000 is expensive. Which one are you trying to play? Which one would you like to play? I might consider a reduction. Because I forgot to turn my other microphone. There's only like 2 or 3 that I'm like, I don't want people using these a lot. I think those are the ones that are like, you have to use bits to pay for those. We make the connection that this person is in this city.
sounds different now? I mean, that because I forgot to tell my introduction to this idea was in high school, when an overenthusiast is in this city. My introduction to this idea was in high school, when an overenthusiastic... there we go. My introduction to this idea was in high school, when an over is in this city.
We could maybe make that a bit more flutter.
You automatically make the connection that this person is in this city.
Let's. Do I still have it? Oh, I think I'm. Let's try this. It promotes restraint. Oh, that's what we want. We want vinyl. Get a nice little dust sound.
In the world of film and visual media, there is a phenomenon known as the Kuleshov Effect, which explores the effect that arises from how two pieces of film interact with each other when they are edited together. You see an establishing shot of a city, then a person walking down a street. You automatically make the connection that this person is in this city.
How often do you stream? I can't hang around. We're doing more moving stuff again today. So I stream every Monday and Wednesday, 8 p.m. UK time, 3 p.m. Eastern. Last Monday of every month, we do audio drama done quick, where I'm joined by people and we try to make a bunch of audio drama really quickly. Otherwise, I'm doing this twice a week. So sometimes it's music, but for this year, I've kind of challenged myself to make audio pieces like audio pieces like this once every month. So that's our Mondays and Wednesdays. So are we recording Amber's voice to replace with the actor later, or is the actor recording different lines? The actor's going to be recording different lines. So the experiment's going to be I'm going to get the actor to record a single reading of the phrase "excuse me," and then I'm going to be taking that line and then trying to make a bunch of different scenarios, creating little micro stories just using that one line and sound effects and trying to make as many of them as possible, and seeing what kind of comes out of that, because I think that's a sort of interesting sort of idea.
In the world of film and visual media, there is a phenomenon known as the Kuleshov Effect, which explores the effect that arises from how two pieces of film interact with each other when they are edited together. You see an establishing shot of a city, then a person walking down a street. You automatically make the connection that this person is in this city. My introduction to this idea was in high school, when an overenthusiastic English teacher decided to teach us about film instead of, having us discuss Macbeth again. He wheeled the television into the classroom, explaining this idea.
Could maybe do something. Do we want to add additional sound design, or is that just putting a hat on a hat, do you think?
English teacher decided to...
That's noon for us. I'll definitely be back. Turn on notifications. Love this stuff, and we make it too. Have a great stream. Thanks very much for sticking around. It was good to see you. Hopefully we'll catch you again soon. Thanks very much, Lantern AW.
Idea was in high school, when an overenthusiastic English teacher decided to teach us about film instead of, having us discuss Macbeth again. He wheeled the television into the classroom and showed us an interview with Alfred Hitchcock, explaining this idea.
Yeah, and then we'll have...
Now we have a close-up. Then we show what he sees. Let's assume he saw a woman holding a baby in her arms. Now we cut back to his reaction to what he sees.
Hmm.
Yeah. Now we have a close-up. Then we show what he sees. Let's assume.
Not Twitch encouraging time to Sonic. We've not had a time to Sonic today.
This idea.
Been very
now we
good.
have a close-up. Then we show what he sees. Idea. Now we have a close-up. Then we show what he sees. Let's assume he saw a woman holding a baby in her arms. Now we cut back to his reaction to what he sees.
Thank you.
And he smiles. Now what is he as a character? He's a kindly man. He's sympathetic. Now.
Ooh. I'm gonna teach you a thing here. So, this sounds great.
In the world of film and visual media, there is a phenomenon known as the Kuleshov Effect.
It needs something to pull. It needs something to tie it all together, and the thing to tie it all together is this. Right, type this in and do this. I love doing this, by the way. Put in a very small room reverb. Let's put bedroom, and then play it again.
media, there is a phenomenon known as the Kuleshov Effect, which explores the effect that arises from how two pieces
flattens
of
everything
film
together,
interact with each other
makes it
when they are edited together.
kind of blends it all together with
You see an
reverb.
establishing shot of a city, then a person walking down a street. You automatically make the connection that this person is in this city. My introduction to this idea was in high school when an over-enthusiastic English teacher decided to teach us about film instead of, having us discuss Macbeth again. He wheeled the television into the classroom and showed us an interview with Alfred Hitchcock, explaining this idea.
Now we have a close-up. Let me show what he sees. Let's assume he saw a woman holding a baby in her arms. Now we cut back to his reaction to what he sees.
What did I say? I didn't say texture. Did I say
Now
texture?
what is he as a character? He's a kindly man. He's sympathetic. Now, let's take the middle piece of film away, the woman with the child, but leave his two pieces of film as they were. Now we'll put in a piece of film of a girl in a bikini. He looks,
Hitchcockiness.
Oops, sorry.
girl in a bikini, he smiles. What is he now? The dirty old man.
Dirty old
He's
man.
no longer the benign gentleman who loves babies. That's the difference. That's what film can do for you.
I didn't have a name for it yet, but I understood the idea, though I maybe could have done without Hitchcock's particular,
The dirty old,
Hitchcockiness. Hitchcockiness.
the dirty old man.
Yeah, okay, that works. That joke works. I like that.
Hitchcockiness.
The dirty old man.
There's an interesting discussion to be had about where this idea intersects with multiple generations growing up with cinematic literacy. But that's not what we're here to talk about. We're here to talk about sound design. Talk about sound design.
And then we'll switch to, right, so we need to... brain hop to Robin for a second. Okay, what's next? We need the clean tape. Okay. We can have a bit of fun here, but let's figure this out. Let's record this first. I think we can have a fun little chat. Okay. I want to say at this point that this is something I've been thinking about and haven't been able to find any writing on. I am in no way saying this is a thing I've, discovered or invented or whatever. It's just a way I think about sound design that I think is interesting and I think could be kind of fun to share with people. Okay. I want to say at this point that this is something I've been thinking about and haven't been able to find any writing on. I am in no way saying this is a thing I've, discovered. I need footsteps. Footsteps. Yeah, that's a nice little... This is one of the things that I got to do in my job when I was working in a cinema, like an Art Deco cinema in Glasgow, was one of my duties was closing up the cinema at the end of the night after everyone had left at like midnight. So I basically got to walk around this empty cinema carrying these massive chains to chain the fire exits shut. Every night, and there were a couple of nights where I recorded the noise, like the footstep noises. I recorded that entire building while I was locking up, and yeah, so that's where these footsteps come from. I want to say at this point that this is something I've been thinking about. Let's add a bit more. I want to say at this point that this is something I've been thinking about and haven't been able to find any writing on. I am in no way saying this is a thing I've, discovered or invented or whatever. It's just a way I think about sound design that do we have like the noise of something being put on a table? Because that could be quite fun. No. No. That could work. Use the sound of Gwen kicking the door open. That is... It wasn't ready for that desk slam. I'm sorry. That's this one. That's the door being. Anytime you hear a door kick down in Camlin, it's that's the sound. Yes, I think we can do this. Thinking about and haven't been able to find any writing on. I am in no way saying this is a thing I've, discovered or on. I am in no way saying this is a thing I've, discovered or invented or whatever. It's just a way I think about sound design that I think is interesting and I think could be kind of fun to share with people. Cassette? No, it's tape deck, isn't it? Oh no! What's in this folder? Okay, there we go. Like an eject button. Why have I just got the same thing 3 times? Yeah, so we're going to put that in the background at the end. Design that I think is interesting and I think could be kind of fun to share with people. Yeah, and then we've got the bit on tape. So we're definitely overproducing this, but I'm kind of okay with that, to be honest. I want to say at this point that this is something I've been thinking about and haven't been able to find any writing on. I am in no way saying this is a thing I've, discovered. Ooh, what did I do with the thing? Okay. No. Saying this is a thing I've, discovered or invented or whatever. It's just a way I think about sound design that I think is interesting and I think could be kind of fun to share with people. So we've got a nice little action going on here. Saying this is a thing I've, discovered or invented or whatever. It's just a way I think about sound design that I think is interesting and I think could be kind of fun to share with people. Oh, do I have to? Oh, my tape deck is in the shop! Free sound! Free sound! Free sound! Free sound! Tape deck. That's what I want. Open and close. Yes, perfect. That's exactly what I want. Thank you, Free Sound. You've saved us again. Why are you going into the wrong folder? That's not where I want you to go. I need you to go in the Free Sound folder, obviously. Good grief. There you go. That's all I wanted, just those 2 sounds there. Or invented or whatever. It's just a way I think about sound design. Way I think about sound design that I think is interesting, and I think is interesting, and I think could be kind of fun. Think about sound design that I think is interesting, and I think could be kind of fun. I think is interesting, and I think could be kind of fun to share with people. Nice. Okay, let's hear that back. I want to say at this point that this is something I've been thinking about and haven't been able to find any writing on. I am in no way saying this is a thing I've, discovered or invented or whatever. It's just a way I think about sound design that I think is interesting and I think could be kind of fun to share with people. You've got a nice little ambience there. Okay. 2 minutes already. Oh, we were going to get the countdown, weren't we? Ooh, I don't like that at all. Oh yeah, no, it's just the. Oh no, I've already got that. Okay. Finally made it. Where did I miss? You're perfect timing. I was literally just about to. The snapshot around, I think, is so well timed. I love it. Thank you. I really love doing this stuff. It's great. I need pips. I do have pips. Yeah, let's. Oh no. Yeah, we just need the one.
In the world of film and visual media, there is a phenomenon known as. In the world of film and visual media, there is a phenomenon known as the Kuleshov Effect. In the world of film and visual media, there is a phenomenon known as the Kuleshov Effect, which explores the effect that arises from how two pieces of film interact with each other when they are edited together. You see an establishing shot of a city, then a person walking down a street. You automatically make the connection that this person is in this city. My introduction to this idea was in high school when an over-enthusiastic English teacher decided to teach us about film instead of, having us discuss Macbeth again.
Good night, just a bonky. Thanks for stopping by.
Showed us an interview with Alfred Hitchcock explaining this idea.
Now we have a close-up. Let me show what he sees. Let's assume he saw a woman holding a baby in her arms. Now we cut back to his reaction to what he sees. And he smiles. Now what is he as a character? He's a kindly man. He's sympathetic. Now, let's take the middle piece of film away, the woman with the child, but leave his two pieces of film as they were. Now we'll put in a piece of film of a girl in a bikini. He looks, girl in a bikini, he smiles. What is he now? The dirty old man.
Dirty old man.
He's no longer the benign gentleman who loves babies. That's the difference. That's what film can do for you.
I didn't have a name for it yet, but I understood the idea, though I maybe could have done without Hitchcock's particular, Hitchcockiness.
The dirty old man.
There's an interesting discussion to be had about where this
I like
idea
that joke. I think that's
intersects with
funny.
multiple generations growing up with cinematic literacy. But that's not what we're here to talk about. We're here to talk about sound design.
Thank you. I want to say at this point that this is something I've been thinking about and haven't been able to find any writing on. I am in no way saying this is a thing I've, discovered or invented or whatever. It's just a way I think about sound design that I think is interesting and I think could be kind of fun to share. Ooh, hang on, the rhythm's off there. It's just a way I think about sound design that I think is interesting and I think could be kind of fun to share with you. Yes, that's good. That's got a nice rhythm to it now. He's saying this is a thing I've, discovered or invented or whatever. It's just a way I think about sound design that I think is interesting and I think could be kind of fun to share with people. I don't think we need reverb there. What's that? I want to say at this point that this is something I've been thinking about and haven't been able to find any writing on. I am in no way saying this is a thing I've, discovered or invented or whatever. It's just a way I think about sound design that I think is interesting and I think could be kind of fun to share with people. Amber said no reverb needed. I know, shocking. That I think is interesting and I think could be kind of fun to... That I think is interesting and I think could be kind of fun to... I think is interesting and I think could be kind of fun to share. I think is interesting and I think could be kind of fun to share with people. How do I play the X-Files sound alert? You need to be a subscriber! You need to be a subscriber and I think it costs bits, I think. I think is interesting and I think could be kind of fun to share with people. Inventor of audio design. I feel like you're willfully misinterpreting. There is a new sound alert, by the way. But the one that I forgot to put in the other day. Okay, we need to do another quick bit of recording to kind of get us through the next bit. So this is going to be clean audio. We're going to write. Ooh, do we want to use the phone again? What do we think? Because I don't want to necessarily repeat.
When they are edited together, you see an establishing shot of a city, then a person walking down a street.
I guess the context is different. I think the context might change it. We're doing a little mini experiment at the beginning. We're doing a little mini experiment right before we even do the experiment. Kind of fun too. It's like a little pre-sneaky, stealthy warm-up experiment. Makes me think of those like instructional tapes. That is kind of the vibe I'm going for with these. I like the idea. I love this idea of these sort of little instructional tapes. Share with people. An experiment. A secret second experiment. Where's that tape sound? Where did I? This lovely, lovely, lovely sound. So for have you listened to Within the Wires? Have I listened to Within the Wires? Yes, I have. I absolutely adore that show. Very much in the category of I would have produced this differently. I would have put more sound design in, but at the same time, I'm also like I understand that I can appreciate how like it's still really amazing. It's still really good, and I still absolutely love it. And it's still one of the best audio dramas I've ever listened to. But I'm also very much just like you could have maybe done a little bit more to share with people. For folklore, we needed a cassette tape sound, so I used this sound from my actual cassette player, and then I had a fidget spinner. And I kind of had the fidget spinner spinning, and then that's how we got the extra tape sound. Do I still have the fidget spinner? I think I might have thrown it out. Do I still have those? No. I must have thrown it away. But yeah, fidget spinners are great. Actually, you know what? Free sound, are you going to be our savior again? For a sound. Oh yes, of course, this is free sound. No. What in the goddamn? What kind of fidget spinners are these people using? That's not what a fidget spinner sounds like. Why are they all drill sounds? This is just... This is all I wanted. Or is it a contact mic recording? It says noise while it like, so this one's rotating fidget spinner on a wooden table. That sounds like a contact microphone. So this is a fidget spinner from Darren's Sounds. Thank you, Darren. A fidget spinner spin has a satisfying smooth sound. That's maybe a bit too much. Come on, Darren. Darren, we're going with you, Darren. Congratulations. Can I download it, please? Thank you. And then that's Freesound saying, "Hey, can you give us some money?" Which, honestly, fair enough, Freesound. Oh, sounds. I wonder if there is a library. We nearly made a whole stream without doing the bit. I wonder if there is a library of good sounds, good high quality sounds that one could find. Well. If you are looking for specific machine sounds, like say for example you want a bunch of steam engine loops. A bunch of steamy noises, including a steam-powered submarine. Not sure how that works. You can go to Avani Sounds and get their steampunk sound pack. And if you use the code AmberDevro at checkout, you get 30% off, and you'll be supporting the channel. And what about some buttons and switches? They do those too. If I type in buttons, these are all from Avani sound packs. You need these. Everyone needs these noises. What's that one? Oh, that's me. Oh, these are all me. Don't listen to these ones. These are terrible. You want ones from Avani. Don't they sound amazing? 30% off. What a steal. Avani Sounds. Avani. What's the website? I should probably know this. Avanisound.com. Avanisound.com. They have a sound effects starter pack that you can buy now. What does it include? Let's have a look. I should know this. What does it come with? Hollywood action sound effects pack. I actually have that. It's really good. It's very funny. They have voice lines, which is very fun. Sci-fi sound effect pack. I have that too, which is great. Medieval fantasy sound effects pack. I have that too. I've been using that a lot on This Is History. Motions and impact sound effects. Also very important stuff. Does Avani have car crash sounds? I am not sure. I don't think they do. I wouldn't even know where you would get that. When I've done car crashes, so if you look for, you know what, let's if you look for like destruction sounds and then just have a car slam into these destruction sounds, that will, do they have a fart pack? A farter pack? No, I don't think they do. They have one called Air, so maybe. They have a lot of crashes and impact sounds, one of them being a car being smashed. Oh, amazing. Don't suppose you know which one that's in there. Crafting sound effects. Destruction. There you go. Destruction sound effects. Destruction sound effect pack. Destruction sound effect 2. What is a fart but air? Stronger than the four winds. Yeah, they've got loads. So go get them. They make good stuff and they don't use AI, which is good. We need that. I've forgotten what I was doing. Fidget spinner. There we go. That's what we're... Okay, why did you feel the need to do a weird stereo thing there, Darren? You've let me down. Actually, I'll throw it in the tape sound effect when we go for it. SFX03. It's in one of them. Nope. Once a stream, we must do our part. And that I think is interesting, and I think could be kind of fun to share with people. No, Murblow is correct. Ooh. Okay, right. Let's get this other piece of VO recorded, and then we'll edit it together. Okay, here we go. Something of a small obsession of mine is trying to figure out the precise point at which a collection of sounds and voices becomes a scene in audio. And a realization that I've had is that you can also apply the Kuleshov effect to sound design and audio storytelling. And I thought it would be a fun experiment to try and demonstrate this idea. Yeah, I was happy with that. Something of a small obsession of mine is... To all the VOD people, I know you're out there, you should really watch the tiny streams, they're a lot of fun. Thank you. I had to take one down the other day, would you believe? It's just me rewatching all 7 times. Thank you. The mystery actor was the friends we made along the way. Aww. So, little thing, if you're wanting to do tape sounds, if you're wanting a tape sound, if you want to do a tape effect, really easy way to get started is to just slow the audio down slightly. So I'm just putting that on 0.9. Don't have it preserve pitch. And so everything's a little bit slower.
Something of a small obsession of mine is trying to figure out the precise point.
Oh, goodness. Before E, Amber Devereaux.
Something of a small obsession of mine is trying to figure out the precise point at which a collection of sounds and voices becomes a scene in audio. And a realization that I've had is that you can also apply the Kuleshov effect to sound design and audio storytelling. And I thought it would be a fun experiment. Something of a small obsession of mine is trying to figure out the precise point at which a collection of sounds and voices becomes a scene in audio. And a realization that I've had is that you can also apply the Kuleshov effect to sound design and audio storytelling. And I thought it would be a fun experiment to try and demonstrate this idea. Something of a small obsession of mine is trying to figure out the precise point at which a collection of sounds and voices becomes a scene in audio. And a realization that I've had is that you can also apply the Kuleshov effect to sound design and audio storytelling.
Just a bit gentle.
And I thought it would be... Something of a small obsession of mine is trying to figure out the precise point at which a collection of sounds and voices become...
Wait, we were going to record this on the phone. Okay, hang on. Activating the anti-voice trading regime. I'm the VOD people. Watched all the Camelin streams, including the ones where everyone was loopy and sick. That was possibly my favourite one. Hello, are you still working? Hello. Testing. Yep, I think we're still working. Okay, let's record it on the phone, and then apply the same effect. Helps if I change the actual input first. Experiment number 2. Where's the script? Something of a small obsession of mine is trying to figure out the precise point at which a collection of sounds and voices becomes a scene in audio. And a realization that I've had is that you can also... I know I need to make this a bit longer, actually. Let's go again.
Something of a small obsession of mine is trying to figure out the precise point at which a collection of sounds and voices becomes a scene in audio. At what point does, say, a couple of sounds and a voice, at what point does the brain start to mash all these things together, blend them together to make a scene, to make an image? And a realization I've had is that you can also apply the Kuleshov effect to sound design and audio storytelling. And I thought it would be a fun experiment to try and demonstrate this idea. Genuinely wish I had one of these phones, but I really can't justify one yet. I don't I didn't have a purpose for buying this. I just saw that one was available and went for it.
It's a really good thing to have. It's just a really good thing to have in your arsenal. Let's see what that sounds like. Let's get this. Let's get. At what point do you become a cyborg? I think that needs to be more distorted, honestly. And then that's gonna stop. Did I not? Oh, damn, I didn't use the whole thing. Tape. That's that satisfying stop button. Ah, delightful. Great. To be fair, your bread and butter is sound design, mine is visual. Yeah, that makes sense. Yes, that's very true, actually. Yeah, if you yeah, no, right. I love the idea that you bought it not to be a mic, but because of the aesthetic. There was a little bit of that there. I'm very excited about the idea of getting like a reel-to-reel tape machine. Because again, I don't have a practical reason for it, but I do think it would look very good, and it would definitely kind of feed the Delia Derbyshire part of my soul. You know what? I might add a bit of a hard basic on there instead. I might add some music under that. I think it could be quite a fun idea. Like have some like quite like a wobbly synth pad in there. I think that could be quite fun. Right, that's right. So it's 10 o'clock now, so let's give it a final listen, and then we can kind of call it a night and figure out what happens next.
From how
Can't
two
hear it.
pieces of
You
film
can't hear it.
interact
Sorry,
with
I
each
forgot.
other.
I didn't realize I turned that off. Okay.
In the world of film and visual media, there is a phenomenon known as the Kuleshov Effect, which explores the effect that arises from how two pieces of film interact with each other when they are edited together. You see an establishing shot of a city, then a person walking down a street. You automatically make the connection that this person is in this city. My introduction to this idea was in high school when an over-enthusiastic English teacher decided to teach us about film instead of, having us discuss Macbeth again. He wheeled the television into the classroom and showed us an interview with Alfred Hitchcock, explaining this idea.
Now we have a close-up. Let me show what he sees. Let's assume he saw a woman holding a baby in her arms. Now we cut back to his reaction to what he sees. And he smiles. Now what is he as a character? He's a kindly man. He's sympathetic. Now, let's take the middle piece of film away, the woman with the child, but leave his two pieces of film as they were. Now we'll put in a piece of film of a girl in a bikini.
Was that Kiryu?
He looks. Girl
Yes.
in a
Yes, it
bikini.
was.
He smiles. What is he now? The dirty old man.
I love this. I love this song so much. Like, unironically, I love it. Oh, genuinely, like, that song has become like an emotional reset for me. It's so nice. There is a shorter sound alert there now for when that happens.
But leave his two pieces of film as they were. Now we'll put in a piece of film of a girl in a bikini.
Oh, I needed that. Thank you. I feel like I've released.
He looks. Girl in a bikini. He smiles. What is he now? The dirty old man.
Dirty old
He's no longer the benign gentleman who loves babies. That's the now.
Actually, I'm gonna just do a silly thing.
He looks. Girl in a bikini. He smiles. What is he now? The dirty old man. He's no longer the benign
The
gentleman
compressor caught it. Damn.
who loves babies. That's what film can do for you.
I didn't have a name for it yet, but I understood the idea, though I maybe could have done without Hitchcock's particular, Hitchcockiness.
The dirty old man.
There's an interesting discussion to be had about where this idea intersects with multiple generations growing up with cinematic literacy. But that's not what we're here to talk about. We're here to talk about sound design.
The idea of a bikini has really changed since that interview. Yeah. I want to say at this point that this is something I've been thinking about and haven't been able to find any writing on. I am in no way saying this is a thing I've, discovered or invented or whatever. It's just a way I think about sound design that I think is interesting and I think could be kind of fun to share with people.
Something of a small obsession of mine is trying to figure out the precise point at which a collection of sounds and voices becomes a scene in audio. At what point does, say, a couple of sounds and a voice, at what point does the brain start to mash all these things together, blend them together to make a scene, to make an image? And a realization I've had is that you can also apply the Kuleshov effect to sound design and audio storytelling. And I thought it would be a fun experiment to try and demonstrate this idea.
Cool. And then we're going to go on to the second half. We're going to so the next stage is explaining the experiment, which we'll record next week, and we will, and then we get to. I wonder what distorting Macbeth would be worth it, but I'm not sure it would be worth it for the joke, just because it is such a throwaway thing. Like, we could switch it out for something else if I'm making people uncomfortable. I like the idea of making this. Can I make this any louder? Right. Just headphone warning.
Particular Hitchcockiness.
The dirty old man.
There's an interesting
It's
discussion
okay.
to be had.
I think we could make that a bit tighter.
Hitchcockiness.
The dirty old man.
There's Hitchcockiness.
The dirty old man.
There's an interesting discussion to be had about where this idea intersects.
Right, that's the loudest I can make it.
Hitchcockiness.
The dirty old man.
There's an interesting discussion to be had about where this idea
I'll leave it for
intersects
now.
with multiple generations growing up with cinema.
Cool. So, stage 2 is explaining the experiment, and the second time is making some the accent there going weirdly Australian. Dirty old man. Okay. That's our show. It's in the tin can. Is that what we're saying now? Didn't feel good. Didn't feel good in my mouth bits. Thank you everybody for being here. I'm aware this is much more of a writing stream than actually making audio stuff. But yeah, this is fun. This is kind of coming together really, really quickly. Like, getting it right into that old tinny can. Yeah, I don't know. It might. I don't know. I feel like I've picked such an unglamorous thing. Like, someone on the Discord referred to everyone on the Discord as tin canners. I'm like, that doesn't sound good. That just sounds like you're working in a Soviet factory. That doesn't sound good. It's tin can, not tin cannot. Time to tin these cans. Okay, I was just gonna say bye. I'm sort of we're at the end as well. So we'll be back on Monday. We'll be back on Monday. Doing more tin cannies. No, that doesn't sound good. That sounds suspect. All I ever picture is someone talking into a can with the string attached. Like that's how I get to hear all the podcasts. I think that's where it came from. David Bowie's Space Odyssey. Was it Here I Am floating in a tin can? For my first show, tin can. And then tin can audio just kind of came out of that. Anyway, we'll be back next week with making more of this. It's coming together alarmingly quickly, so we may have to do something else later on in the month. But that's an exciting thing to figure out. But in the meantime, I hope you enjoy the rest of your Wednesday. I hope you enjoy the rest of your week. And for people on the Discord, I'll put up a new poll by the end of the week. I need to figure it out. February is a shorter month. That's good. That's a good point. So there's next week after that. Well, there's still 3 weeks worth of streams. So who knows? We may have to have some fun music streams later on in the month, ahead of ADDQ. Anyway, enjoy the rest of your Wednesday. Enjoy the rest of your week. Stay safe out there, and I will hopefully see you all very soon. Good night.